This is our digital channel. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Today's journey brings us to South America. More specifically, we're going to explore the lands of the Inca Empire and discover the fascinating role of the Chasqui. Their network of human couriers. The term Chasqui comes from Quechua, meaning a runner. These individuals were not just ordinary messengers. They were the backbone of the Inca communication system, ensuring the vast empire remained connected and informed. The Inca lacked a writing system, so the Chasqui used a form of knotted ropes, known as quipu, to carry messages, each knot representing a word or phrase. The Inca roads, or caminos, were meticulously engineered, stretching over 40,000 miles throughout the empire. The Chasqui would travel along these roads, often running long distances in a relay system, carrying messages, news, and even census data. But being a Chasqui was no easy task. It demanded physical prowess, endurance, and a deep understanding of the Inca culture and geography. The routes were treacherous, passing through high mountain passes, dense jungles, and arid deserts. Chasqui had to be swift and agile, navigating steep cliffs and rocky terrain. They also needed to be knowledgeable about the local flora and fauna, as well as the geography of the region. This knowledge helped them to identify landmarks, locate water sources, and predict potential dangers along their route. The life of a Chasqui was challenging. They often ran long distances barefoot, enduring hunger, thirst, and exhaustion. Their diet consisted mainly of maize, potatoes, and other locally available foods, and they had to carry their supplies with them. The Chasqui played a vital role in the Inca Empire. They were responsible for delivering messages to officials, coordinating military movements, and keeping the empire informed about important events. Without them, the vast Inca Empire would have crumbled due to the lack of efficient communication. Now we're gonna explore 2 sites linked to the Inca road system. First, we head to Pachacuti, home to the Royal Road's most iconic landmark, the Huayna Terraces. This site stands as a testament to the Incas' ingenuity and adaptability. It's carved into the hillside. These majestic terraces were once used for agriculture, showcasing the Incas' mastery of hydraulic engineering and their ability to harness the land's resources. Next, we journey to the enigmatic Alentejo, a town that played a significant role during the Inca Empire. Here we'll uncover the secrets of its strategic location along the Royal Road. The town's unique layout and its impressive stone structures, including the enigmatic Punku, will leave us in awe of the Incas' architectural prowess and their ability to thrive in such a remote region. So get ready to lace up your shoes and embark on an epic adventure through the Inca Empire. Join the Chasquis and discover how their tireless efforts shaped the destiny of an entire civilization. Thank you for joining us on this journey. And remember, every step you take is a chance to connect with the past and discover the incredible stories that have shaped our world. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious. You are a runner. High in the mountains of South America, you race toward the setting sun. Your breath is the only sound louder than the wind. Your muscles burn. Your lungs protest. But you keep going, faster, higher, further than any runner before you. Because you are not just racing, you are running for your life. Behind you, the pounding of feet on stone, the heavy breathing of men who would kill you if they caught you. And ahead, the shimmering hope of freedom. Now, stop, catch your breath. Tell me who you are. Are you the fastest runner in the tribe? Yes. Then I have a challenge for you. Now, imagine yourself not as a runner, but as a stonecutter. Somewhere near the heart of the Andes, you squat beside a wall you've been building for days, weeks, even. There is no mortar, yet the stones fit so tightly that not even a blade of grass could slide between them. This wall is not just a structure, it's his vision made permanent, a vision belonging to one man, Pachacuti. His name in Quechua means earth shaker. But there was no shout in him, no tantrum of conquest. Instead, he built, quietly, systematically. Before Pachacuti, the Inca were powerful, but not eternal. They ruled the valley of Cuzco, governed nearby hills, but the vision of a vast Andean world was still only mist, clinging to the mountains. Then came the Chanca invasion, a violent test. While others fled, Pachacuti stayed. It is said he rallied a desperate force, that he begged the gods for guidance, that stones rose as warriors. But such things are stories. What we know is that he defended his city, and when it was saved, he did not rest. He reorganized the kingdom into Tawantinsuyu, the land of 4 parts, spreading outward from Cusco like sunbeams. He sent builders into the mountains, surveyors to map rivers, priests to bless stones, runners, like you once were, to carry his orders faster than the sun could rise. But Pachacuti was not just a strategist. He was a shaper of landscapes and meaning. He ordered the construction of Machu Picchu, not as a palace, but as a sacred retreat, a place among the clouds where rituals unfolded in harmony with the sun's arc. Terraces were carved with such precision that water still flows through them 5 centuries later. He rebuilt Cusco in the image of a puma, a sacred animal. Streets became arteries, temples became organs, the city itself, a living body. He reformed the calendar, standardized rituals, commissioned oral historians to organize memory itself. His court did not glitter in gold. It shimmered in silence, in order, in ceremony. And yet, he was still a man, with sons, rivals, and the quiet rot of succession waiting behind closed doors. When he faded, whether in peace or tension, his body was mummified, preserved, but not hidden. His mummy would sit with the nobles at important feasts, wrapped in fine textiles, his legacy still present, still watching. To this day, Pachacuti remains part fact, part shadow. Did he speak softly? Did he smile rarely? We do not know. But his stones remain, balanced, smooth, enduring. He did not rage. He reimagined Cha, and through his quiet plans, the Andes were knit into empire. Let us turn now, slowly, from stone-cut emperors to the earth itself. Let us speak of the ground beneath our feet, of the busy footsteps of messengers that once echoed there. 2 paths you cannot walk, but which still lie there, etched in meaning. Imagine this. You stand at the center of ancient Cusco. The city is quiet, its layout shaped like a puma, the claws of which are said to have been swallowed by an earthquake long ago. The buildings around you seem to sigh with age and memory. In the stillness, you hear the ghosts of footsteps. Can you see them? There are 2 main roads, or perhaps we should say, 2 ceremonial routes. For road implies something casual, something for carts and pack animals, something merely practical. These were neither. The roads were avenues of ritual. No pack animal trespassed here. Only humans walked these paths, or rather paths, for there were 2 sets of routes, one for daylight, one for dark. By day, travelers followed the sunbeams. By night, they traced the patterns of starlight. They always walked alone. No couple strolled hand in hand. No child skipped ahead of its mother. Each person moved solo along his or her route, eyes fixed on the path, head tipped slightly upward, It was as if they were counting the steps to heaven. The starting point of both routes was here, in the main square, where the four celestial directions met. It was also the ending point. The center, the heart, the source, the golden temple of the sun, the Cora Concha. From here, the routes radiated like spokes on a wheel, spread from the center of the universe, or at least the Inca Empire's center of the universe, out into the surrounding regions. There were 41 of them. According to the careful Spanish chroniclers who recorded every last detail of Inca life, in order to eradicate it, each route had a name, each had its own guardian spirits, and each ended at a shrine, a waka. What sort of place was a waka? Cave, rock, spring, tree, cross, niche, carved in a rock face. Sometimes they were natural, sometimes they were man-made. Sometimes they were nothing but a pile of stones beside a path. Sometimes they were grand. Either way, they were never empty. Each one housed a spirit, each had a history. One was called the Lord of the Lightning, another, the Lady of Fertility. One was said to have sprung from the semen of the moon. Another was the place where the warrior virgins spun their webs of magic. To walk past a waka was to pass through a veil between worlds. It was as if the Inca believed the veil was thinnest here, that the natural world was thinnest here, that the world of the dead and the world of the living touched here, that all things were most real here. They walked these lines often, the priests and nobles, carrying offerings, reciting prayers, conducting rituals. Once they walked the circuit of daylight, they turned back before sunset to follow the route of the stars. When the Spanish arrived, they built roads of their own across the Inca roads, defiling them, yet somehow missing the point. For even when the Inca were forced to abandon their old ways, some of the routes remained. And even when the land was divided among Spaniards, the shrines endured. People continued to make pilgrimages, though less frequent, less festive. Still, they whispered stories of the Lightning Lord and the Fertility Queen. Still, they left offerings at the base of statues and crosses. Today, archaeologists have mapped the routes. They've measured them, charted them, labeled them. Scholars debate their purpose. Some say they were a kind of mnemonic map, helping priests keep track of festivals and myths and rituals. Others say they were political, a way of keeping order. For each clan responsible for a particular stretch of line, Tita, but we may never know. For the Inca kept much of their ritual logic spoken, not written. And what the conquerors didn't record had already been forgotten. So the question is, why do you come to this place? Why do you feel drawn to walk these paths? What are you hoping to find at the end of the road? Perhaps a stone that glows when the sun hits it just so, a spring that bubbles up from the earth, fresh and pure, a tree with knotted limbs that stir in the breeze. But what if you don't find any of those things? What if the waka is nothing but a pile of stones beside a path? Will you feel disappointed? Or will you understand that the waka is everything and nothing? It's everything because it's a place of power, of memory. It's nothing because there's nothing to see. This is the paradox of the Inca roads. Their purpose isn't visible. Their meaning isn't clear. Yet the ground remembers. We feel it in our bones. We sense it in our blood. This land remembers the lines drawn across it, the footsteps that traced them. All those countless journeys, all those offerings made. Listen closely. Can you hear it? It's the whisper of ritual, the murmur of the unseen, the pulse of the earth. Maybe the waka isn't here. Maybe it's inside you. As we leave the quiet mystery of the Ceque lines behind, we now rise, slowly, into the mountains. Up winding trails of stone, past terraces green with maize and coca. Up and up, until the clouds kiss the earth. And there, resting high in the folds of the Andes, you find it. Machu Picchu. It is morning. A stillness holds. The sun crests the jagged ridge. Light pours in soft sheets over perfect walls, carefully laid centuries ago. There is no gold here. Not much, anyway. But there is silence. There is precision. Stone fitted to stone so tightly that even the blade of a knife would struggle to slip between them. This was not a place of war. It was not a fortress, and though once thought lost, it was never forgotten by the people who lived in the valleys below. It was a retreat, a royal estate, a sacred space, perhaps, a home in the clouds. The Inca elite did not always rule from great halls. Sometimes they watched the stars from a still pool carved in the rock. So imagine this life. A quiet day among courtyards and fountains. You are not a messenger now, not a farmer, but an attendant, perhaps, or an astronomer, or a noble's daughter whose hands are soft from maize flour, not toil. The buildings are angular, but the corners are smoothed by use. You walk past storehouses, granaries filled with dried potatoes and salted meat. Alpaca wool hangs from a wooden frame, dyed in soft reds and yellow from native plants. You hear Quechua, not shouted, but spoken carefully, as if each word is part of something older. Rituals unfold slowly here. Priests stand at the Intihuatana stone, a carved pillar thought to tether the sun. They watch the shadow move across its edge, not for magic, but for measurement, to know the balance of sky and earth. Food here is simple but elegant. Maize tamales wrapped in leaves, steamed guinea pig, spiced roots and tubers, all prepared by trained cooks, not in haste, but with quiet pride. Bathing pools glisten with cool, clear water brought down through clever canals. And when evening comes, people gather to speak, to trade news from Cusco, to read the sky with gentle eyes. You walk through a narrow corridor of stone and look out across the valley. Mist coils like smoke in the air. Birds wheel high above. This place feels measured, balanced, as though it were laid not just for people, but for time itself. Not everyone in the Inca world suffered. Not everyone ran or built or carried. Some watched. Some waited. Some whispered poems beside ritual fountains as the mountain wind curled softly through their sleeves. It said Machu Picchu was a royal estate for the Emperor Pachacuti, a place where he could step away from empire and into eternity. No great battles were fought here. No stories of rebellion or collapse. Only the hush of ritual and the soft, steady rhythm of the sacred slipped into stone. Even now, it remains remarkably intact, unruined by time, respected by those who climb its trails with reverence. You do not need to believe in magic to feel something sacred here. The way the terraces follow the slope, the way the windows catch the rising sun on the solstice morning, it was never meant to be grand, only precise, only quiet, only enough